What's up guys, JC here. Here's how you connect your D4R-II receiver to the SPRacing Evo flight controller. I'll be placing links to my D4R-II, Evo, and Taranis playlists in the top right of your screen and the description below, so check this playlist out for other helpful videos. If you look at the Evo flight controller, here are the input pins on this side. If you look on the back side, you will see them labeled ground, 5V, R2, which stands for UART number 2 receive, or that's what the slash is, PPM, UART number 2 transmit, or telemetry. And then we have the VBAT pins, which I talked about in the VBAT video, which is also in this playlist. So I took a 3-wire servo connector and soldered it on in that order, with ground first, then power, then PPM on the next channel. If we go to the D4R-II, this normally is set up in PWM mode, meaning you will have a wire for every channel, which is 4 channels, plus a power wire, plus a ground wire, so we would have at least 6 wires and only get 4 channels. But if you take this jumper that came with it, place it on channels 3 and 4, that will convert it to PPM mode, meaning we will get 8 channels, and all 8 of those are coming through channel number 1, plus power, plus ground. So we will just take this 3-wire servo cable and plug it in that order, with the signal wire being on the outside, ground wire towards the inside. And take note that I'm using the top row of pins, not the back side, because the back side is technically channel number 2. Now for telemetry. You will see the abbreviation TLM for telemetry, which is also part of that UART, but it's a long explanation. Just what I did was take this 4-pin 4-wire connector that came with the D4R-II, and I removed the 3 wires that we don't need. So if I plug it in, you'll see the only wire I am using is the one on the corner. These 3 other wires you don't need. You can cut them off or use a razor blade, lift the tabs up, and pull the wires out individually. So this wire is soldered on to the TLM pin. Now with everything wired, we can take a USB cable, plug it in. This will power the flight controller and the receiver both. At this time, if you have not yet bound your receiver, you need to go ahead and do that. Look in my D4R-II or Taranis playlist and you will find a video on how to do that. I've already bound mine, so once I turn my transmitter on...
Hey JC, welcome back. Cheat mode active.
I now get the solid green light, meaning that it's properly bound and everything is working. Once you get the solid green light, you can continue. So now, we just want to go into Betaflight and connect. First, we will go to ports, and first I am going to turn off the MSP or data for UART number 1. This has nothing to do with this video. That's just for future. Whenever I put a device on UART number 1, UARTs can only do one thing at a time, so I'm just turning it off. But because we put the telemetry wire on UART number 2, we want to come under UART2 to telemetry and choose FrSky. Then save and reboot. Now go to configuration, scroll down, and make sure that this is set to RX PPM because we are using it in PPM mode. Then scroll down again and make sure you have telemetry turned on. Then save and reboot. Well, only save and reboot if you made any changes, so technically I didn't have to. But now everything should be working, so let's just test it by going to receiver. If you move your joysticks around, roll, pitch, yaw, and throttle should all be moving. If you've created any switches, you can test them out now.
Things are about to get real. Hybrid mode, stunt mode active, cheat mode active.
Okay, all of those are working. Now if you go into the Taranis, you want to press menu to go to your model, hold the page button to go backwards a page to telemetry, scroll down and discover new sensors. Then press enter again to stop discovery once it's done. And here's all of your telemetry. Like I said, watch my voltage video showing you how to get voltage in your telemetry. and that's going to do it. Now if you were seeing all these sensors, you are now done. If you are only seeing 4 sensors, then stick around, I'll explain. So if you do only see 4 sensors, well, first let me say, you get telemetry from 2 different places. One place is obviously your flight controller, the other place is the receiver. As long as your receiver is getting power, then no matter what, you will always get those 4 sensors. Even if the telemetry wire is not connected to anything, you will still get those 4 sensors. So basically this means that really the only possible cause it could be is you just need to go back and check everything. Recheck your wiring and recheck all the configuration changes in Betaflight or CleanFlight, and make sure that everything's saved, because sometimes your changes don't save. But that's really it. So just recheck everything. Like I said, watch those playlists for the other videos, and I will see you there.